Hello and welcome to my channel. So I managed to get sick on video week, which is just fantastic. But I wanted to upload something anyway, which is why today's video will be a little less demanding on an intellectual level. We are doing the Booktube Newbie Tag. So why don't you make yourself comfortable with some tea or any other beverage of choice, and let's get started. Question number one. Why did you start this channel? I started this channel as a kind of hybrid between AuthorTube and Booktube. I am an aspiring author myself, so naturally I enjoy reading just as much as writing, and I just love discussing books. Question number 2. What are some fun and unique things you can bring to Booktube? So for my book discussion videos, I like to focus on the older classics. I know, they're not for everyone, but I just think there's so much we can learn from them in terms of writing, which is why I like to focus my analysis on lessons for us modern writers. Or at least that's the idea. I'm still fairly new at this. I'm actually quite proud of my 2 latest additions to this series. One video being on Jane Austen's Emma and the other on Edith Wharton's The Age of Innocence. I'll actually leave links to those in the description below. Question number 3. What are you most excited for about this new channel? Definitely my book discussion videos. Classics are timeless for a reason, and so in my videos I try to find what those reasons are and how we can learn from them. But I'm also a huge history nerd, which is what drove me to reading classics in the first place, because historical fiction just wasn't enough to scratch my itch, if you know what I mean. So I plan to incorporate more history into my videos as I continue creating content, and I'm very excited about that. Question number 4. Why do you love reading? I should think this one is fairly straightforward. I enjoy it. It inspires me. Question number 5. What book or series got you into reading? Well, Harry Potter was huge for me, of course, but aside from that, I also loved the Chronicles of Narnia by C.S. Lewis and his Dark Materials trilogy by Philip Pullman. Those were my biggest favorites around my early teen years, at least. Question number 6. What questions would you ask your favorite booktubers? I suppose it would be, how on earth do you manage to read so many books? Some of you go through books like they're little more but pamphlets, and I'm quite impressed. I'm actually really proud of myself if I manage to read 10 books in a year. But then again, I do spend more time on my writing, so. Question number 7. What challenges do you think starting a booktube channel will be the hardest to overcome? I suppose it's the same challenge as with all new channels. You want your content to feel fresh and original. And enjoyable, of course. And that's really difficult. It takes a while to find what works for you and your channel. Number 8. When did you start reading? I first started reading when I was about 7 or 8, and I entered a kind of book subscription club where they would send you a new book every month. It was a lovely thing to have, as it really helped me in creating a reading habit early on. Number 9. Let's try that again. Number 9. Where do you read? I've always preferred reading in bed, actually. I suppose that's because when I was younger, I would read in my room and I didn't have a couch or anything, so I would just read in my bed. Nowadays I find that a bit difficult because I tend to get very tired if I'm too comfortable, as reading is so relaxing. You know, first world problems and all that. And we're on to the last question, number 10. What kind of books do you like to read? Okay, so I am a nerd on two fronts, one being history and the other is fantasy. Although I must say I'm not a huge fan of urban fantasy, to be honest. I kind of needed to take place in a fictional world in order to suspend my disbelief and be fully immersed in the fantasy elements. As for history, classics from the 1800s are amongst my favorites, but also I really enjoy older stories with a cultural heritage like Arabian Nights, the Edda, the Mabinogi, things like that. Trust me, there will be videos on these at some point in the future. Oh, and yes, I do have a soft spot for historical non-fiction as well. I've done one video on that, and I believe it's the video with the lowest amount of views on my channel. A bit disheartening, but I can take a hint. And those were all the questions. So, feel free to drop me a comment if you have any thoughts on what I've been talking about, or if you just want to say hi. Make sure to leave me a like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Niles and I, thank you so much for watching today, and we hope to see you back next time.